Hello, everyone. Welcome into another episode of Destination Heartland. I'm Sharon Chen with KCTV5 News. All right, I am so excited about today's episode because when we talk about wine country, you might naturally think of California's Napa coast or Tuscany. But did you know that we've got wine country right here in our own backyard? We're talking about Hermann, Missouri, just about a 3 hour drive east of Kansas City, tucked away in the heart of the Missouri River Valley. So let's dig right in. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Tammy Bruckerhoff, and she is the tourism director for Visit Hermann. Hi, Tammy. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Appreciate the invite.
Of course. Okay, so let's start with this question. What is it that makes Hermann so unique among Missouri's small towns?
Well, I've lived here all my life, and I can tell you one of the things that I hear over and over again is how beautiful Hermann is. So we have been voted Missouri's most beautiful town many, many times, and when you come here, you will see why. The Missouri River is our northern border, and then we have beautiful German architecture, buildings that are still here from over 150, 175 years ago. Along with that, and the hospitality of our local people who are serving you, that is truly what makes Herman so very special.
I love that. And what I love about it, you kind of touched on it a little bit, is that German aspect of it because Herman's roots kind of go back to German history. Talk a little bit about that aspect.
Yeah, so our first settlers came here from the German Settlement Society in Philadelphia, who came directly from Germany. They came here with the idea that they were going to get rich and they were going to have farms, and that life would be so much better here in the Americas, which it was in many ways. However, when they got here, it was in December and it was a very hard winter for them. And so we had a lot of Germans that were challenged with that first winter. And we actually had a few French people that were here already that were fur traders. And so thanks to those French that were here, our Germans were able to survive that winter. And they came here to plant, they ended up planting grapes because these rolling hills were not exactly conducive to our normal farm crops. So they came here and planted grapes. So what used to be all grape sections in our historic downtown and all throughout the city is where our homes are now. And a few of those original grapes actually survive today.
Oh, that just sounds absolutely beautiful. Excuse me, because I mean, when you walk through vineyards, the grapes is that's the most beautiful part of it. I imagine that this old world charm can be found throughout the town today.
You bet. So we have the beautiful Stonehill Winery that has been here for over 175 years, pre-Prohibition, and they have the largest series of underground cellars in North America. We also have the Adam Pukta Winery that is the longest family farm-run winery in the United States, and so they are at generation 7 and 8. So we have history that dates back pre-Prohibition and families that have been doing grape production, wine production for many, many years. And so lots of expertise, and that's why our wineries are award-winning wineries.
Oh, I love that. And also on top of, the wineries, the history is being preserved in museums there too.
We are so fortunate that we're just a town of 2,300 people. People think we're so much bigger, but we are 2,300 people, and we have wonderful museums here. We have the Missouri Department of Natural Resources has the Deutsheim State Historic Site here at 2nd and Market Street. Absolutely phenomenal museum that has the history of the grape and wine industry, has the music history, has the abolitionist history, and has the Straley House, which dates back to pre-Prohibition. And so great museum there, and highly recommend that everyone comes to visit the Deutsche. We also have the historic Hermann Museum, which is at 4th and Schiller Streets. It was the first schoolhouse here in Hermann
Wow.
and has the historic German bell and the clock tower that so many people are familiar um, with seeing here in Hermann. And then we have other small museums. We have a fire museum, we have a caboose museum, we have a veterans museum, memorial park. Lots of great history, lots of things to see, and can't say enough good things about all of the historical attractions that we have here.
Yeah, historical attractions too, and you can see a lot of this. There is a walking tour to see some of that Herman history too, right?
Yes, so we have several walking tour brochures that are in our visitor information center. They're also available on our website, visitherman.com. But we also have an app on Guide2Go. So just go download the Guide2Go app, and then all of those history tours that we have in print are also in that Guide2Go app. And there's a lot more information, videos, photos, lots of current information about Herman in that Guide2Go app. So definitely check out that.
Yeah, because I can imagine you talked about the just the brick buildings. The architecture has to be stunning there for sure.
We get so many wonderful compliments from our visitors about how well kept, how clean Herman is, and these buildings have gotten so much love from so many people from here in Herman, and we have that German culture. We take care of what we have. We plant flowers, we plant gardens, and we make sure things are nice and clean for our visitors.
Which leads me right into the next question because we talked about German history and culture. What about customs? Are there German customs that are practiced there in Herman today because of this heritage?
Yeah, so right now we have the Oktoberfest going on, so you'll hear lots of German music around town. Obviously, we have German food all over town, so many of our restaurants serve German fare and American fare and other types of foods. And so, yeah, there is so much German history right here in our town. You'll really feel like you're in Little Germany, as we are called often.
I love it. I absolutely love that. All right, now let's dig into the big attraction, the main attraction in Herman, which is the wineries. Now, I was looking on your website. There's no less than 2 dozen there. There's so many there.
Yes, we are very fortunate. So when they planted these grapes, when they first came to Herman, that was part of their culture in Germany, and so that tradition continues today. Many of us grew up with cellars in our homes or on our farms, and so there are lots of wineries around us here today. And that is one of the things that makes us so beautiful are these gorgeous cellars. You'll see restaurants that are in cellars or dining
Mm.
rooms. You'll have some lodging establishments that have cellars or that are, you actually sleep in a cellar. So, yes, we have wonderful wineries. They are award winning. Stonehill Winery and Adampuchta Winery have won the Governor's Cup for the best wine in Missouri, and once you taste them, you will see why. So we have wonderful wineries, great views. The Herman Hoff Winery is down on First Street. The George Hoostman Winery is down on First Street, and you'll have different wines at each one, and each has their own beautiful settings that make them so special.
Oh, that is so neat. And, also this question too, because with the wineries comes what type of wines are we talking about? Sweet wines, more like Cabernets, or what kind of wines?
We have all kinds of wines. The Norton grape is the state grape of Missouri. So from the Norton grape, there's award-winning wines. Even like Stonehill Winery has the Norton Dinner, and Adam Pukta Winery does a Norton Dinner, and which is when they take food and pair it up with the Norton wines of different years. We also have Chamberson. We have Vignole, which is a sweeter wine. And then this year, the Adam Pukta Winery won the Governor's Cup for their dry Vignole. So definitely will want to try that when you come to town.
And on top of the wine, I also saw you also have some distilleries too.
Yeah, that's very exciting for us. We have about 7 distilleries that have popped up since around 2000. And so we are really getting on the map in Missouri, and in the United States for our wonderful distilleries. In our downtown, we have the Lionheart Whiskey Company. We have Blackshire Distilleries Tasting Room. We have the Herman Farm Distillery, Copper Mule Distillery, Fernway Distilling Company, and the list goes on. So even so, if you're not into wine, or if oftentimes what happens is the women come for the wine, the men come for the whiskey, and so we have it all here. So definitely check out our distilleries. They are absolutely beautiful, and I can't say enough good things about our distilleries and that new scene that we have. We have Copper Mule Distillery, I think, has the largest still in the state of Missouri.
Wow.
And we also have a new distillery that's coming on board that you won't want to miss. So make plans to come to Herman next year to see our newest distillery.
Oh, I love that. And I mean, what I love about, you have not only the wineries, you also have the distilleries. And I imagine you can go around to the different tasting rooms and really get an experience.
Absolutely. So we have wonderful transportation services here, and we say that Herman makes it easy. So you can come in on the Amtrak Missouri River Runner from Kansas City, or you can drive, but highly recommend the train. And you get off the train, and our transportation businesses are there to pick you up. They'll take you to your lodging establishment, and then they'll take you around to the wineries, breweries, distilleries, all the restaurants and attractions. We really make it easy. So we have the Herman Trolley that will do that for you, the Herman Crown Suites. We have Uber drivers. Debbie Van Osdal runs Lift You Up Rides, which is a van service. Um, Great transportation services. So even if you're coming on foot, we can get you around to all the wineries, breweries, distilleries, and all of our wonderful attractions.
Yeah, I mean, a great, convenient, and easy way, but also safe too. All right, well, of course, with the drink comes the food. You touched on it a little bit, which is the awesome German authentic fare that's there in town. But I imagine because of the beverage factor, there's got to be a great culinary scene there.
There is. We are so fortunate. Again, we are 2,300 people. And so the number of entrepreneurial restaurants that we have here in our city are just wonderful. We have them all on our website on visitherman.com. But you can get German fare at Stonehill Winery's restaurant, the Vintage Restaurant. You can get it at Adam Pukta Winery, Tin Mill Brewing Company, Tin Mill Restaurant, Fernway Distilling Company, and of course the Herman Wurst House, where they make over 50 flavors of brats and 12 flavors of bacon.
That's a lot for sure. I always ask this question because, being a tourist coming to town, you don't necessarily know what are the local favorites? Like, where do the locals go and what are the unique spots?
Again, we have great food establishments, so we love all of those. Everybody always asks me, "What's your favorite?" And I always say that's not fair because I love them all. We also have the Doxy Slush, which has 12 flavors of frozen beverages on tap and a
Whoa.
coastal menu. We have the Concert Hall and Barrel Bar, which is the longest running restaurant and bar west of the Mississippi. And so they have German fare and American fare. So a lot of locals will go there as well. We have the Sharp Corner Tavern. It's, one of the oldest taverns that we have here in Herman. They have a flat burger and really great pizzas. And then new to the scene, we have Willie's Phillies, we have 4th Street Pizza, Wings Ablazing, and we have Zydeco, which is a Cajun restaurant. So you will not go hungry if you come into town. There's going to be so many choices that you're going to have to stay 2 or 3 nights to work in your top list.
This is truly amazing because, as you said, it's a small town of 2,400. I love this. Well, we are just scratching the surface in Herman here. We still have so much to get to, but what we want to do right now is take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Destination Heartland. Today we are in wine country, exploring Herman, Missouri. We are having so much fun. So, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and bring back in Tammy Brookerhoff. Tammy Brookerhoff, my voice kind of like trailed off there. Wow. Hi, Tammy. Welcome back.
Hello.
Okay. Before we went to break, we were talking about the wineries, distilleries, and then the food, and of course, Now we got to dig into the shopping because with the food usually comes the shopping. So, what kind of opportunities are there to kind of, shop in Herman?
Yeah, if we have something for everyone in our shopping scene, all over the downtown, we have great shops. So we have boutiques that have fashion and accessories. We have antique stores. Um, we have an antique and live auction on Thursday nights. We have food and coffee shops and great places to get some really wonderful desserts as well. And there's just a really amazing entrepreneurial shopping scene here. One of our latest shop owners, she's 18 and just started her own
Oh my
shop here
goodness.
in Herman earlier this year, and she is just doing an amazing job. So, you know, we have such a great entrepreneurial scene. There's also a garden shop, there's wine shops all over town. And then all of the distilleries, the breweries, they have beer shops. So beer shops are whiskey shops. So lots of great shops. We have a kitchen shop, the art shops. The scene goes on and on for our shopping. So a lot of times visitors will just come to shop and maybe grab a drink, grab lunch, and do some more shopping.
I love that. And I mean, because we're talking about German heritage, I mean, there has to be some great shops with some German items too, like maybe the beer stein, that kind of thing.
Yes, we do have we have several shops that have those. And back home again on Schiller Street is probably one of the best sources for that. The Historic Herman Museum, the Deutsheim State Historic Site, both of those museums have shops as well. And so you can buy CDs and German books and German calendars and all kinds of great German items all throughout town, really.
I love that. And also, when we talk about small towns, especially with such a rich history, there has to be some amazing antique shopping there too.
Yes, so we have four antique shops actually in the downtown area and Herman's Attic Antique Mall. Some of you might remember that the last year about this time on Veterans Day, we had a horrible fire and it took
Oh,
away the
yeah.
Herman's Attic Antique Mall. But he has come back strong. He's in a bigger and newer building, just two buildings basically, and across the street from where he was. So definitely check out Herman's Attic Antique Mall. He's open 7 days a week. Some great antiques and collectibles and fun vibe in that store that you will not want to miss.
Oh, that sounds absolutely amazing. All right, now we get to dig into some really fun things. We're talking about festivals and events. Now we're talking Germantown, and you were saying Oktoberfest. This one has to be good because it's Herman.
Yes, it's been so much fun. So Oktoberfest in Herman is primarily every weekend in October, but you'll feel that German vibe if you come even on a Sunday through Thursday. So every weekend on Saturday, we've been having a dirndl and lederhosen contest at 2 o'clock over at Willie's Phillies and the 413, which is a speakeasy. And then at 4 o'clock, we're having Missouri's largest duck dance. And then at 8 o'clock every Saturday evening is the Stein hoisting contest at the JC's Beer Garden. So lots of fun things. The Leinig German Band is playing at the Fest Hall. Copper Mule Distillery has a German band and German food. You will find German food at every winery, brewery, distillery, and you will not go away hungry at all.
That's awesome. And wait, I have to ask this question now because we're talking Oktoberfest. Is there a place where you can even buy lederhosen in town?
We are working on that. We
That way,
do not have that. You can buy all kinds of alpine hats around town,
there
and
you go.
we are working hard to get a store or at least a vendor that will come and sell lederhosen and dirndls for kids of all ages, even for little babies. But
Oh,
yes, that's a project.
it's a project in progress. We'll put it that way.
Absolutely.
And
You bet.
Oktoberfest, of course, is not the only festival in town.
Right. So we are already heading into our Christmas season. the Christmas in Herman is 7 weekends of the year. It kicks off in November with the Holiday Fair Wine Trail. We have the Sounds of Starkenburg concerts out at the beautiful Shrine of Our Lady of Sorrows. There's a beautiful pipe organ. It's the oldest Pfeffer pipe organ in the United States, and it sounds absolutely amazing. And then we go into our Chris Kindle markets. The first weekend of December is the Chris Kindle market at the Stonehill Winery. The second weekend of December is the Chris Kindle market at the Inn at Hermannhof at the Fest Hall. We also have tours at the Deutsheim State Historic Site for Weihnachtsfest, which is Christmas festival. We have the Tablescapes, which is sponsored by the Tuscany County Historical Society in our beautiful German rotunda. It's one of the oldest buildings in town. It's an octagonal shape.
Wow.
And inside there they have tablescapes. So it's tables are set up and decorated as you might have them for Christmas Eve, for a formal dinner. Some of them are just absolutely over the top, and it's only $5 to get in and a donation to the Gascony County Historical Society. We also, the first weekend of December, we have our historic tours, our house tours. And this year there's a major building that will be on that tour that I'm not going to be able to announce today. You won't find out till probably about that Friday before, but absolutely going to be stunning, and highly recommend that everyone comes for the house tours. And it's only that first Saturday of December, so definitely come in for that. There's also another wine festival or wine tour, wine trail. It's the Sage Cheese Wine Trail is the second Saturday of first or second Saturday of December. We have so much going on, I can't keep
I
track
was
of it
gonna
all.
say.
Yeah, there's also a German bake sale at the Historic Herman Museum.
Ooh.
And then other things that are going on around town, shops with open houses, all kinds of events, Santa making his appearances all over town. So a really, truly special time of year definitely go to our website. We have a special page, a landing page just for Christmas activities. Cannot express to you just how special Christmas is here during how special Christmas is here in Herman.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then I was also looking too on the website, and I thought I saw something for Halloween too.
Yeah, there is tonight actually is the Witches and Wine
Ooh.
Festival, and then later next week, the we have the downtown, all the businesses dish out candy for the kids, which will be the day before Halloween this year. But great parties going on at our nightclubs, so there is definitely always something fun going on for Halloween.
Oh my gosh, there's so much happening. It's almost like you got to spend the whole month in Herman.
I
um,
highly recommend it.
yeah, I mean,
You know,
you
what
could.
happens so often is visitors come and they fall in love with our town, and then they decide to move here and make it their home. And that's really special. That says a lot for our town and for the people that live here.
It does for sure. And next year, a lot of people will be coming to the Kansas City area and will probably go to Herman. And there's some events happening for the World Cup in Herman too.
Yeah, so we have a special page on our website for the World Cup for Soccer 2026. Our businesses are still formulating what all they're going to do. They've not really announced yet everything that they're going to be doing, but we know that we will have an increase of visitors before, during, and after the World Cup. We are right on the Amtrak Missouri River Runner line. There will be 3 trains, which will be 6 stops
Wow.
the next year during the World Cup. So we know that people will be flying in from Europe, coming in from Canada, northern United States, southern United States, from all over. Many of those people will probably fly into Chicago, and they'll get on the train, and they'll take that train from Chicago to St. Louis through Herman, and hopefully stopping in Herman, and then on to Kansas City. And we also think that when visitors are coming into Kansas City, that in between games, they might take a 2 or 3 day, 2 or 3 night excursion. And so we have sample itineraries for those visitors on our website. And we've been distributing those also through the Missouri Division of Tourism and Visit KC. So a wonderful partnership that we've had, and can't thank all of our partners in Kansas City enough for bringing this amazing event to us in the United States and right here in Missouri.
And I think also, you kind of touched on this too, which is I think one of the big attractions about Herman, one of the best parts is the ability to take the Amtrak there because I mean, what better way to just kind of sit back, relax and let it take you to your vacation, right?
You bet. So I don't know if your visitor, if your viewers don't know how wonderful Amtrak Missouri River Runner is, you should try it. It is inexpensive, and oftentimes you can get here faster on the train than you can coming down I-70 or coming down Highway 50. So highly recommend the train, and that way you can just kick back, you can take a nap, you can read a book. There's electric outlets right there at each seat, so you can charge in your phone or your iPad and just enjoy a beautiful ride along the Missouri River right here into Hermann. So our Amtrak station is right in the heart of our downtown. And so you can walk to everything if you would prefer to, or you can have one of our transportation services take you around to again, to the wineries, breweries, distilleries, and all of our museums and restaurants. Amtrak is a really great way to go, and can't say enough good things about riding the Amtrak Missouri River Runner.
I am in. I love that part of it. I mean, I always love when I go back to California, I often take the train from San Diego up to Orange County where my mom lives. So I am 100% in on the Missouri River Runner. Okay, let's talk about because we have talked about so many different things happening. What is the best time to visit Herman?
That's the magical question. So,
Yeah.
back in the day, we were so well known for our Mai Fest, which is our May festival, and for Oktoberfest. So we had so many visitors coming May through October. But now, with all of these entrepreneurs starting these new businesses and all of these events going on all year long, we really are very busy from Valentine's Day through New Year's Eve. So, really great time of year to come is 365 days a year. No matter if you want if you want the weekday vibe or the Friday vibe or the Saturday vibe or the Sunday vibe, there's something for everyone. And we're very family friendly, that with the restaurants and the museums. We have so many great places for families to go as well. But that is such a magical question of what's the best time of year to come. Well, some events are so amazing for kids. So we really want you to find what's best for you. And we often also say you have to come to Herman 3 times a year. You got to come one time between January and May, and then you got to come again in the summer, sometime between June and August, and then come sometime between October and Christmas. And that way you'll get different feelings, different times a year. You'll get different weather, and it's a great time to come anytime.
I love that. And here's the thing. I mean, Herman is truly the town that keeps everybody coming back for more. But if we were to visit, what should a typical visit span be? Because I mean, from just what we've talked about, like you could spend a month in Herman, but that's unlikely.
Yes, you could. At least 2 nights, if not 3 or 4, is what we always recommend. People are so amazed about how much we have to offer here. And truly, within the last 10 years, if you've not been here in 10 years, you will just be shocked about everything that we have available. We haven't even touched on the Herman Farm, and we have the Turbulence Brewery. Those are things that, like little gems that we have
Mm.
right here in our city limits. And we also have the Katy Trail, so you can ride the Katy Trail in from Kansas City. So more and more things to do and see all the time. So take your time, really, when you come, enjoy. We have over 170 B&Bs, guest houses, boutique hotels, inns right here in our city limits. And there is the special place for everyone and every couple, every group. So find your place, make the reservation, pack your bags, get on the Amtrak, and get to Hermann.
Okay, we have our marching orders right there. I love all that. There is so many wonderful things to do in Herman. Man, Tammy, I am so excited that you were able to join us today and take us on this virtual trip because it has been so much fun.
Thank you so much. We hope you will all come to visit us all throughout the year.
Thank you. Well, that does it for this episode of Destination Heartland. And remember, new episodes drop every Tuesday, and you can find them on KCTV5 Plus, on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. So until our next trip, I'm Sharon Chen, KCTV5 News.